All right, guys, let's start.
Go take a check.
I'm usually not a screamer, I don't have a microphone. So, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the All Boards meeting. Today is November 7th, 2023. We can open the meeting
With a pledge of allegiance.
with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Today is the election day, just in case anybody forgot, so I hope everybody exercised their civic duty. As the Chair of the Board of Selectmen, I want to welcome you all and thank you for attending tonight's All Board meeting. Thank you for your volunteerism, your hard work, selflessness, and it's all very much appreciated. Remind ourselves tonight's forum is all about us, it's about this town, it's all about our boards, it's about how we can learn from each other, help each other. It's not about global warming, all the issues that are going on a federal level. We will keep it at 3 minutes each board. Kathleen can do a time, and then we will open up for the questions and discussion. Sounds good? Let's start from the left.
I guess I'll go
To the
first.
police.
I'll be brief. I'm happy to report the police department's in pretty decent shape right now. We spent a lot of money the last few years fixing up the building. I'm fully staffed, there's nobody injured, that doesn't change. We're in a good spot right now. Way under 3 minutes.
Awesome. Is there anything
I-
you want? We know what you
Oh, I
need.
want, but I think want and need are two different things. If I
Right.
had an extra person, I would probably put somebody in the schools. But, obviously, if the towns get hit Powerball or something like that, they have.
We can always read, right?
Can you turn over 60 seconds to me from your time
Sure.
to
Let's see
talk
what you
about the
Kyle will
police?
certainly steal a lot of time.
I'm not gonna, 60 seconds. What a lot of people probably don't understand, and it came out, Dan prepared it, selectmen saw it, it might have come out of town meeting, but in the last year, arrests in the town of Charlton have been up 26%, and traffic stops have gone up 36%. I think I've got that.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate. I have a lot of good people working for me. Seriously, I don't have to, it's not me, obviously. I don't motivate anybody. They motivate themselves. But no, they're doing a phenomenal job. We're very fortunate. We're fully staffed. A lot of police departments have a retention problem. A lot of police departments have a lot of open seats. People just aren't applying for the jobs like they used to. So we've been very, very fortunate.
And on that, from a board standpoint and from a town standpoint, we invested a lot of money in new personnel, and now a new assistant police chief and other things. And with the expectation with that is results. But when you get 25% increase in year over year in arrests and 36% in traffic stops, those are results. So just
Well, I
hands to
appreciate
you guys. It's money well spent, and I think it's,
Either that or we have a lot more criminals.
either one.
who cares? Or we have a lot more, or we have a lot more. Yeah, no, I know. No, it's all Dozer, we all know that, right? It's not,
Stoves are in milkshake. Don't forget milkshake.
And Pablo. There's three dogs.
and Pablo, and, yeah. But I
They're
just
the only
wanted,
3 employees that like it. I have to remember their names.
but I just wanted to make sure you got that recognition. I think that's
No,
important.
we all appreciate it.
Yeah.
Kyle,
Sure.
what's going on, Bay Path?
Thank you. Kyle Brenner, Superintendent of Bay Path. Bay Path is moving right along. We have a great opening to the school year. We have our largest enrollment. We had 1,196 students. 50 grade 9 students came from Charlton for a total of 193 students from the town of Charlton. 43 of our Charlton students are taking advantage of the co-op education program, and we have 92 in-district businesses and industries that have our students. 14 of those businesses are located right here in Charlton on that. We have an evening program, a couple evening programs. Our adult evening program has mailed out approximately 68,000 catalogs. They're currently enrolling 1,473 students. 946 are from within our 10-town district, 527 out of our district, and 254 of our current students are residents of Charlton. And then we have our practical nursing program. We have students enrolled, 2 of which come from Charlton. And we started our new CTI, Career Tech Initiative. It's a grant program. And we started our first co-op in culinary, HVAC, and advanced manufacturing. So this program is 200 hours of work training, free to any student. Student needs to be an adult, either unemployed or underemployed. Underemployed is currently making less than $46,000 a year, but they can come up and they get industry-recognized credentials, 200 hours of training. They pass the first, survive through 100 hours, they get a subsidy, a grant to them, and then if they complete it, they get an additional subsidy on that. We're partnered with about 15 local industries that, for each one, respective of each program, that will guarantee an interview of the graduates from each of those programs for employment. So we started our first co-op, or first cohort of that, and the second one will come in the spring on that. It's a 2-year program that was funded from a grant, over $500,000 we received on that. So we're looking to continue that and keep it going. And we throw that out to graduating seniors from our area towns as well. If they have no idea what they want to do, come on up, get 200 hours of training, and enter the workforce from that. So it's a great opportunity for the communities that we serve with our evening programs. On that, we have a great relationship with, I think, all the departments and boards in the town of Charlton. Most recently, you know, our partnership with our SRO, Officer Bean, and having a police cruiser down, a blown engine. He talked to the automotive students and shops, and they said, yeah, we can do that. So we coordinate that effort, and they turned it over in record time. I thought it was going to take a little bit longer, but the students completely replaced the engine, and we've got it back on the road for minimal cost. The cost of the crate engine, all the labor is free from our students on that. And speaking of town
Greatly
programs,
appreciated, by the way.
thank you. Yeah,
Well,
it's a great
well, I'll
program.
let you finish, and then I'll get this.
Oh, sorry, completed 533 work orders, of which 174 were residents of the town of Charlton, so any of those come up. In our restaurant, I know if you haven't been up, come on up there, you can try that out. On the 19th, Sunday the 19th is our annual Chowder Fest, so for $5 you can eat as much chowder as you possibly can take. And then on December 2nd is our Santa breakfast, so for, again, $5. Kids free, come up, have pancakes, sausage, and eggs, and see Santa Claus. That's it.
I want to personally thank you for the fireworks at the paper.
Oh, yeah,
This
sorry,
is-
yeah,
This
and,
is,
yeah,
this is
yeah,
very, very
Heritage Day,
great.
so we're glad to host those.
Yeah, they came up with the idea, it was awesome. I think it works very well. It was very, very, very nice to see all those families, you know, situated on this big ground and being together. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Greatly appreciate it.
And as far as the police cruiser engine, they turned that around in
Yeah,
3 weeks.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or something insane.
Yep.
So we had a police cruiser down, blown engine, you guys turned it, and with only the cost of the motor.
Mhm.
That's,
All right.
can we make a note, Andrew, to send them a letter?
Already got
Recommendation, have you already got it? Yeah, please.
I was on that.
I'll throw one more.
I was on that, I made sure I got a letter.
No, you sent the letter. Well,
Yes, you did.
don't plagiarize his letter, but make it a little different. No, I saw that letter.
Do we have we don't have the student rep from Baypath, do we? We don't have it this year. Oh,
Not
we
this
don't.
year. Oh,
No, can you look
When we
into
get-
it?
Yeah, we can get back on that.
Yeah, and same with the scholarships too. I don't know if we received any applications this year for that, but
Later on.
that's later on, but just to keep an eye on it. Now, the student rep last year, that was great. That was nice to see both schools, Shepherd Hill and, yeah. Awesome.
Nice job.
Next, John Sanborn, Chairman, Board of Health. Two main issues that the Board of Health is currently working on is the Old Town landfill capping. We're working with CMG Engineering and DEP and various other people, including Andrew, to make sure that we get the funding and get it properly capped. It's probably gonna be about 3 years before it's capped, maybe more. There's a lot still going on as far as the planning. Once it's capped, it'll take 30 years of monitoring, which of course is going to be an ongoing cost, similar to the other larger landfill. Old Town landfill, I believe, is about 6 to 7 acres, and the other one, which is already capped, is 17 acres. So there's a lot of work going on with that, and of course the monitoring of private wells in the area. We've turned up some contamination in those wells, so some of those folks have either bottled water or they're getting point of entry systems to mitigate the contamination in their well water. Most of you may have already heard that there's also PFAS, or forever chemical, concerns now coming all the way down from federal level. So we've done some testing in the area, and of course now around the landfill. There is some concern, but it's too early to tell. And the federal government has kind of been flying blind, so to speak. I mean, I hate to say that, but they're not sure exactly what the threshold is, where it's a health concern. Right now, they're saying 20 parts per billion, not millions, billions, or trillions, I'm sorry. And so they may lower it down to 4 parts per trillion, which is a minuscule amount, and our engineer at CMG is working to try to determine, what's a reasonable level, so that people aren't too concerned, and also so that it's not costing the town a lot of money, because it's a very expensive test to get done for well water testing. Other than that, the Board of Health is, of course, fully staffed, doing well, and everything is running according to plan. Jim Felbrick and the rest of the crew there are doing a stellar job. So it's a pleasure. I'm on my third 3-year term, and really it's nice to work for a board that does so well what I do.
Good.
Things to spare.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Casella?
What about
Who's doing it? Is that
Casella is now picking up
And then the
municipal
Board of
trash.
Health is doing it? The new,
So the Casella agreement is ending at the end of December.
Oh, that, I'm sorry.
yeah.
Right now, we are basically directing anybody who is currently utilizing that system, if they don't want to contract with a hauler, to utilize the Webster facility. They'll be charging on a per bag. At the same time, we're also talking with Spencer about what their capability, or what they're going to, or if they're gonna be able to work with us on some sort of program for the long term. But
So there
short
won't
term.
be any free drop-off?
No. Once they're legally obligated to not have to provide a free trash service to the town, they'll be converting that transfer station back to just commercial waste.
And hazardous waste?
It'd be private.
Private, yeah.
Yeah, more like churches and things like that,
I'm sorry?
Churches and things like that. I think that's what you said, churches.
Because years ago, I started private hazardous waste pickup here in town. Cost us $5,000 a year. And we just think that's really important to be able to have that as an opportunity for the residents to bring hazardous waste. Some people.
That's why we're talking with Spencer right now, because they do offer that program, so if we're able to partner with them, we can continue that with the Spencer program.
Nice. Brad?
Brad?
Question?
Just for those of us that are a little hard of hearing, may I encourage folks to speak clearly?
Oh.
Let's speak louder.
Everybody's very calm. It's a beautiful thing, but
You mellow.
Will you stop complaining and just let us get on with the meeting? Brad, I'm kidding. Yeah, no,
Thank you very
duly
much.
noted. Duly noted.
Anybody else? Any other questions?
turned up all the way up.
Just so you're aware, any electronic waste that is computer-wise or batteries or anything that Staples sells, they have to take in recycling for free. If you have an old computer, you have old monitors, batteries, Staples has to take it, it's free.
For free.
Just drive it there, drop it off.
Even if you didn't buy it there?
Correct.
And if they no longer sell the product.
Doesn't matter.
Okay,
Nice.
good to know. Thank
Okay,
you.
we're gonna put it up on the website and social
Yeah,
media.
I use that.
Okay, I'm here to talk about Old Home Day.
Hey, wait a minute, you gotta reset your 3 minutes.
Who are you for people who don't know you?
I'm actually gonna, I'm gonna set my clock on that one. There you go.
Before I talk about Old Home Day, I just want to mention that Chip-In is not here because they're not a town committee. But they are in this building. They continue to give out food every month.
So every
it's
Wednesday of the month, we are helping out to unload the food in the back. And every third Saturday, 9 to 12, we have people coming in to pick it up. So guys, if anybody's interested or know of anybody who's interested to help out, especially with the delivery and carrying it up, because you have to go up the stairs, and unfortunately usually it's around 3 or 3:30, so we can facilitate the kids because they're still at schools, and people are usually at work. So if somebody wants to volunteer, Darlene or myself or Kathleen, just
But
just let
that's-
us know, just show up, it doesn't matter.
And the
But I
chairman
think
of our committee is very, very ill and is on hospice.
And Renee is very, very,
And,
very ill, yeah.
So anybody that wants to get on that committee, the Old Home, the Chip-In committee, Chip-In board of directors.
And you stole my
Quite
thunder, I
members.
was going to say that at the end, but also what happened was when, last year and the year before, because people were receiving so much in the SNAP benefits, the way that the pantry, long story short, operates is by all the people that are registered to receive the food, or whatever that is that they need, that's how much we're getting from the food bank, and why not? So last couple of years post-COVID, they were getting so much in the benefits that they just didn't need it. Therefore, our numbers, scaled, and they just lower. So now we're getting less of those supplies. We actually have a lot of toilet paper, but much less of food. So if you guys know of anybody, any restaurants that you know of, anybody, sometimes what is expired is not expired for the food pantry. Actually, can go over like 6 months or so, if I don't want to lie, but a long time on the cans. So if you know of anybody who has extra, just bring it in. People are bringing it in literally cans, cleaning out the pantry and bringing, we will take it all. At Christmas, we take the toys, stuff like that, but food mainly, you would not believe how many people is out there that actually need food. Thank you.
Just for
Can we get back
clarification.
on Old Home Day? Can you just move back forward?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is on.
Oh, okay, I was
Reset.
slipping, chipping.
Yeah.
Slip and chip in.
So, I gotta start this again, because that's not fair. Old Home Day almost, well, I can't say it almost didn't happen. With the help of our infamous Board of Selectmen, it did happen. But there was almost gonna be a protest here in the Common, because we were changing the date from Monday to Sunday. And there were some people that were upset about that, because it went so far against tradition. But the whole committee, and there's about 20 of us, and most of them were on the Board of Selectmen, decided, it was a consensus really, to move it to Sunday so we'd have a rain day, because we got rained out terribly the year before. So, so that's what we did. We had a great time. Everything worked out well. We have an award ceremony every year, and we give awards to people like yourselves, who kind of unsung heroes in the town of Charlton, who really do everything. And so we have Diane Doherty with us tonight, who was the parade marshal, and I don't
Trying to
think Terry Goff is here. She was the Stamp Citizen of the Year, and the Beagle Club got the Business Award. So it was a great day, and we had a lot of fun. We've got about 20 people on the committee, and we can take more. We'd love to have you. Our next meeting is on January 25th at 5:30 right here. So that's the update for Old Home Day.
If I could add 25 seconds to that,
Yeah, you get time.
I think, do I have time?
Let me see.
I think as
You've got,
far as the whole
you've got
change
1
of the-
minute and 9 seconds.
I think as far as the whole change of the date and the rain date, at first I was kind of a little wishy-washy about it. It worked out perfectly.
You came through in the end.
The volunteers, the volunteers enjoyed it because they always knew you have another day. If in the event, I was a little stressed out about Saturday if we had to do the fireworks. Sunday if we had to do the fireworks, you know, but that didn't happen. But you always got a rain date. The rain date was a good idea.
We have 90.
We all love tradition, but let's just put that whole thing to bed. There's not gonna be a protest next year. There's not, that's all. It worked out well, and I think from all the volunteers that I've talked to, and you staffing, it worked out well. Think of his staffing. He had to bring everybody in for 3 days, wondering what was gonna happen, right?
It worked, right?
It worked.
Always
It did.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's, so now it's, count that as water under the bridge.
Moving on.
Moving
Mike,
on.
nothing?
Only you for the beer.
Donald?
Yeah, Don Konopacki, I may be representing as many as 3 different committees today, because I love being on cable access. It's my road to stardom, I guess. But I'll begin with, first, I'm a member of the Activities Council in Charlton, which runs the facility at 4 Dresser Hill. And this year, we did the Blueberry Festival, which always ends up on the last Sunday of July. We did Trunk or Treat just last weekend, I believe it was. And then, in addition, we have the Pasture Prime players who do productions. There's the Grizzly Coffee House. I bring up those two because Pasture Prime will be doing a 24-hour theater, which is happening this Saturday. It's free admission. What happens is, on Friday evening at 7 o'clock, 3 people have volunteered to write plays. And within 24 hours, the plays will come back at 7 in the morning, and the actors and directors will then rehearse it during the day and perform at 7 o'clock that evening. So this Saturday, that's coming up, and it's free of charge. Second thing is, we also do the Grizzly Coffee House, and it's the second Sunday of each month, which means that, next Sunday, there's gonna be a combination jam session / open mic, starting at 1 o'clock, and the Patriots are playing, I believe, in Germany, so you don't have to miss the Patriots game.
Yeah.
And in addition, we have Pierre Thurio, who is our artist in residence, as well as Lee Dance. They do Irish dance, as well as the Central Mass Music Academy is located there. And one quick plug for the Blueberry Festival: the average age of our council is like 72, and we can't quite do the work we used to be able to do 10 years ago, and so we would love to have more people be involved in the Blueberry Festival for next year.
And more people to bring the pies. I
Yes.
was the judge. I'm the judge every year. It is the best thing ever. So, so people bring the pies, all kinds of, cookies, anything to do with the blueberry. And we had 7 different things from the adults, but we didn't have anything from the kids. Which previous year before, we had, almost the same amount. So for the schools, it's really cool. They bake, or they have all sorts of things. It's just the coolest thing. And they win the nice prizes. Cornerstone Bank always sponsors that.
And I believe this past year was the largest amount of people we had coming into the festival. So it does bring in people from outside the area. The second thing I'll bring up is I'm also on the Band Shell Development Committee. And with regard to that, as many of you are probably aware, we've been given $350,000 by Amazon. As soon as they start full operation, we'll get that $350,000. And thus, we haven't been doing a real lot yet, other than I've been doing some research into possible matching grants. The Mass Cultural Council has a matching facilities grant. and I think I can get another 200,000 possibly for the project based on what I've heard from them when I was talking with the person who's in charge of that program. And we will probably start looking more into it once both the Amazon comes to fruition, and then also with regard, we're kind of piggybacking it into the senior/community center appraisal. So I'll now flip into that, and that's, because I don't see any members. Okay. Well, would you like me to continue? Okay. So with regard to that, we did go over and evaluate, I believe it was something like 8 different proposals. We brought in 5 architects to give a presentation and chose one, which we think was a very good architectural firm, which has worked in the past and gotten things accepted by towns which had for years tried to get these type of things in and couldn't do it. And apparently they're very good at having those things happen. We've met with them first to act for Dresser Hill. So the proposal is to use for Dresser Hill as a possible new site for a senior center / community center. We are doing some due diligence because one of the churches locally has come forward with possibly having the opportunity to locate the senior center there, if I understand everything correctly. So we will do our due diligence on that and find out if it's something that might be a possible other way to get around this. But we did meet with them. They took a tour of it. Then I know they took a tour with the senior center to get feedback from the senior center what they would like. They met again. I was there for them when they took all the measurements of the current facility, as well as told them what at least what the activities council would like to see with regard to community center, and because we don't want to lose anything we already have. And so we met with them, and they'll start working, and hopefully we'll hear something in I don't know if it's going to be maybe 2 months or so.
I just got some stuff in.
Oh, did you? Okay. Okay, well, maybe it's sooner than that. And like I said, part of the idea was to roll the band shell portion in it so that we didn't have to come up with a separate architect to do that. And so the band shell would kind of be an extension of the community / senior center. And the idea would be to work all the grounds in that area directly behind Fort Dresser Hill into a nice facility for a lot of things. That's kind of it.
Very good.
Yeah, any questions?
Kathleen, he's running for the Citizens of the Year award for Old Home Day.
Yeah, I think
Next
so.
year, write it down.
For sure. We need nominations.
Come on, guys.
I have a question, but I have a question, Ken, for every go all the time. So. No, I just wanted to know, because you probably know. Typically, what is the date of the Blueberry Festival?
The last Sunday of July.
Yeah.
Okay. And I know the high school just implemented I think it was an after-school extracurricular to involve culinary, so.
Oh,
Good
perfect.
to notify that group.
Shepherd Hill did?
For that. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
this year.
Yeah, this is a great idea.
My son's in it.
Oh, okay.
And if they don't bake, they can always volunteer to help out at the.
Yeah.
Well, there's that too.
The only challenge with this is because it's summer, so the school is over.
Right.
So that will be something that we'll probably have to advertise,
Oh,
so you better work, you're right, you know how to get to them.
So when you said that the average age of the people that help in the Blueberry Festival was 72, how many people does that encompass? Because I'm trying to put a rate.
So it is, for the most part, it's done by the members of the council. We might be able to get some of our, kids to help out a little bit, but pretty much most of the planning and things come over. We did have one young person help us out, not really young. I won't mention who it is, but.
No, of course not.
He occasionally comes out as the town crier. So that gives you an idea of what kind, that gives you an idea of
Yeah,
the age of
so
people who are helping us do
then he
this.
may or may not have bumped that 72 age up.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, he might have brought it down. But anyway, yeah, so that's something we could really use. It's a lot of help, especially with the Blueberry Festival. Because we were thinking about, we weren't sure whether we wanted to do it last year because it was getting to be really hard. We weren't getting the volunteers.
Yeah.
But we plugged through and got it done, and it was pretty successful.
There can be something that the kids from age and nines, could get maybe
Yeah,
possibly
yeah.
involved if they want to, get ahead of the game.
Some of
Like I
the
said,
older scouts could get
Yeah,
credits
scouts.
for that.
No.
Place
True.
is packed. They have
Shepherd,
food.
I mean, Shepherd Hill should pay attention.
Yeah, no,
They gave us a new police cruiser.
Yeah, right. Bring it on. They can bring us pies, right?
Thank you, Donald.
Oh, and I was remiss, I didn't mention Drew. Drew is also at the community.
Oh, no,
At the,
he's Batman. Drew is Batman. I don't know where Drew is.
Cable is at the Activities Council too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you, Donald. Greatly appreciate it.
Hi, Diane Doherty, Charlton Recreation. I'm here tonight with Sherry Zanka, our vice chair. Kevin Moran recently resigned after serving 5 years, so he's not here this evening, but his input will be greatly missed. His engineering background and many years volunteering with baseball, that invaluable to our commission. Been a busy year with our projects. The ADA Maynard Field project has been handed over to Andrew, and we're hoping for spring to see some action down at Maynard. Lawns R Us secured and replaced pavers at our playground, making it safer. We have a special thanks to Susan Smolsky at the library for her creating and maintaining a new little free library. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's down at the playground, and with the help of our highway department, with the installation, so please stop by and see it, it's adorable. Our Little League Snack Shack backstairs and deck were replaced by Bay Path Carpentry and Masonry, and with the help and guidance from our highway department and our building inspector's office, we were able to complete that this past spring. The skate park and basketball court cracks have been filled again by our highway department, special thanks to them. And the ramps were repainted that were covered with graffiti vandalism, which still continues to be a problem. Hoping we'll be able to have some more enhanced cameras pretty soon so that we can cover the parks and help apprehend the individuals causing these damages. Special thanks to Lila Harrison, Olivia Fournier, and Chloe Beauregard, Girl Scouts Troop 31011. They recently received their silver award to complete a Charlton cleanup project by constructing 2 much-needed trash bins located at the Upper Maynard Field at the skate park with the help of their leader, Nicole Harrison. So we're grateful for that. And for a few years now, Memorial Field has needed a new pitcher's mound. Thanks to our highway department helping with funding half of the project, CCL was hired to complete the rebuild. So Bay Path and Shepherd Hill have expressed interest in using, that's the bigger field, the bigger guys play on. And we're excited to announce that Patsy Ridlack and her son, Eagle Scout Adam, will be willing to help the commission utilize a generous donation from Sue and Peter Malley to create pickleball courts for the town's use. We met with Dr. Stacy Monet, the principal of Charlton Middle School, and we're looking to resurface and utilize the town's existing tennis courts for public use when school is not in session. This would also benefit the school's gym program. So quotes are being obtained, and we're looking at a spring 2024 target date to complete. And Sherry will talk to you now about volleyball.
Thank you, Diane. I would like to announce to everybody that we have a volleyball league, and we're currently playing at Heritage School. And this has provided a platform for individuals to stay active both physically and socially, which is vital for a thriving and healthy community. I want to thank the town administration for their unwavering support, and most importantly, the dedicated members who made it possible by securing insurance for the league. Our community is stronger, healthier, and more united because of your efforts. This league is not just about sports, it's about building bonds, supporting local businesses, and creating a better town for all of us. Thank you for being part of this incredible journey, and here's to many more seasons ahead. And I wanted to bring up one of our concerns with recreation, and it is parking at the library and the field over by the sports area. It's making it very difficult to satisfy both groups, so we're looking for any assistance or comments or
Yeah,
anything
ideas.
that could help satisfy that particular concern.
That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions?
Do we have anybody from the library here?
I am.
You are.
I have a question about volleyball.
Oh, yes.
Is age groups?
It's adult, so
Okay.
right now we're 18 plus.
Okay.
I might.
Co-ed?
Yes, it's co-ed.
Okay.
Co-ed.
Okay.
And what day is this?
It's Friday nights,
What time?
6:30. But I do request that you contact me directly because we have a sign up and I have a cap at the school, so. Thank you.
Guess I'm up. I'm Cheryl Meskis, and I'm,
Could I just add one real quick thing? I forgot to mention, and I probably should even though it's not a town committee, I'm also president of the Charlton Rec Friends 501c3, and we'll be having a Zoom meeting the first week of December, and primarily we're looking into issues with the band shell, but other things might be in the future, and I just wanted to mention that. If you look at our Facebook page, the Charlton Rec Friends Facebook page, the Zoom meeting will be posted on that. Sorry, I forgot totally about that.
Okay.
anything else for? No. Okay. I'm Cheryl Meskis, and I'm a library trustee. Karen, our library director, was supposed to be here, but she's gotten waylaid across the street. So one of the things that the library trustees do is support our director and the rest of the staff over there at the library, as well as budget areas of concern. One of the things that our library director spends a good portion of her time on is facilities maintenance, which I would like to plug that the town hire somebody as a facility maintenance person. Because right now, we have 4 projects that I can think of off the top of my head, but I know there's a couple others. Putting in new flagpoles. We have to keep up with the company that's working on that. Roof and gutter repairs. She spent a lot of time with our town administrator and also with the building commissioner on writing an RFP for getting roof repairs done. We're working with IT for updating the cameras, not only within the building, but outside the building, and putting a couple more in parking lot areas and such, so hopefully that'll help with the skateboard part, because they'll be upgraded over there. We've also worked on upgrading our Wi-Fi at the library. And those are all things that take Karen's time away from doing things within the library. Our staff is amazing and have really picked up the slack, but I think that a facilities maintenance person could be well utilized, not only for the town hall, but the police, fire station, etc. The other big thing that we're doing right now is every 5 years, the library has to put together what they call a 5-year plan for the Mass Board of Library Commissions. And in doing so, we have hired a consultant to help put together that plan. And one of the things we'll be doing is we're having breakout meetings. We'll have to do a survey of the townspeople. But right now, we're working on having meetings with the library staff to see what direction we want the library to go in for the next 5 years. And that's a big undertaking, and it takes a full year to put together this plan. That's how detailed it is. So we're working on that. And other than that, we're moving along. So, any questions or comments? Oh, and yes, Karen has been working with the Recreation Commission and with Andrew on trying to come up with a solution for the parking out back. So right now, there are some new signs that went up a month or two ago for various hours for library parking. And I know it's always gonna, I think it's always gonna be an issue because there are so many people that come not only to the library, and especially now we have a lot of evening programs that are drawing people in, but at the same time, lots of times it's at the same time when there's ball games going on. So.
And there just isn't enough parking.
And there just isn't enough parking. So,
It's hard.
Park over, we're trying to get people to park over at the elementary school if they're coming for sports events, but not everybody wants to do that. So if maybe we can get a dedicated crosswalk with flashing lights or something, not only for out here across Main Street, but also maybe across Burlingame Road, and that might help people want to park over there as well. So just a thought. Thanks.
Hi. Sherry Russell, I'm the Council on Aging here at the Senior Center. And I'm Jim Howard, he's a member of the COA board with me tonight. So here at the Senior Center, we continue to offer health and fitness classes. We have chair yoga, floor yoga, balance classes, Tai Chi, line dancing. We offer evidence-based health and wellness programs and screening. We provide information on nutrition and stress management to our seniors. We have regularly scheduled blood pressure clinics with BayPath students, foot clinic appointments with a licensed nurse. Our outreach coordinator assists with housing issues, fuel assistance, SNAP applications, mental health issues, referrals, and many other concerns. She makes home visits and phone calls to our homebound seniors on a weekly basis. We also have a SHINE representative who answers Medicare and Medicaid questions. And right now, there's a lot of them. We receive lunches from Tri-Valley Elder Services 3 times a week, and once a week, our cook prepares lunch. We offer to-go meals on the day that our cook prepares lunch. We have the Elder Bus available to all our seniors in town for rides to the Senior Center at no cost. We also have a variety of activities and groups, including cribbage, and we play mahjong. We have genealogy classes, sewing groups, knitting groups, crocheting, cornhole. Oh, we have monthly birthday parties, floral design classes. We have a trip volunteer who assists in planning day and overnight excursions. We continue with our senior tax work-off program. We have Senior Center volunteers, and we have Shepherd Hill Regional High School volunteers helping us with our tech corner for our seniors. But we do lack space, and our restrooms are not conducive to the needs of our seniors, and therefore we're looking to hopefully build a new senior center down the road. That's what we got. Thank you.
Makes you want to get old.
We do have a lot of fun here.
We're all already a little bit older than we were when we first walked in here. So. But on the, for the church, and I haven't really heard a whole lot about this, but I think you said that a group of you went down there and looked at it?
Yes.
Council on Aging did, and what were your thoughts, your initial thoughts? And the group as a whole, yours and then the group.
Okay, I think we all agree there's a lot more space. But mostly, what we agreed was that there's 2 floors, each floor has a restrooms on it, on the floor, and multiple ones. So here, we're dealing with stairs or an incline, and if you have to watch our seniors come down the stairs with their walkers, it's dangerous. It's very dangerous. There, it wouldn't be that way. we'd have the restrooms right on the floors, first floor, second floor, there's an elevator there. We would have room for, right now we have three spaces here that we use for multi-purpose rooms. There we would have about 8 different rooms.
It's that big.
Yeah, it is. The rooms upstairs, you know, the sewing room, they could have their own room. Then the cards and boards and games could have their own room. So the arts and crafts could have their own room. So it would give like a lot more space in that regards. There's some outdoor space where we could have picnic tables. We could sit outside. There's like a little walking trail. There's more parking than we have here. I mean, we had our Veterans Day program here today, and a lot of our seniors are having problems. There was no place to park. And it's not like they can park across the street and walk over. There, you know, that's that. So there'd be more parking spaces there.
But from a historical, you know, a traditional spot, do you think the seniors would be fine going there?
Well,
or do they want to stay in a town-owned building?
They'd like to stay in close to town. I don't think they need to be here or want to be here in the basement. But they do like the idea of being walking distance away. Would be nice. But that being said, our options are we can stay here for another, how long is it gonna be before there's a senior center? I mean, it's gonna be a long time. It's gonna be years.
If we go.
Right. So do we go to a temporary location where we have more space and our seniors are safe? Or do we just stay here for that amount of years? Some of them say they don't like to cross Route 20. But then we have a lot of seniors that live across Route 20. So, you know,
You get the lights too now.
we have
It's
like.
really gonna, yeah, the input from you people is probably
Did
really
you see
gonna
it, Howard?
tell
Did you
us.
go and see it?
I went, yeah, the whole
Yeah.
board went.
What do you think?
I was impressed.
Yeah.
We had the same questions that you people were asking, but all in all, I think, you know, it's like anything else, you get used to going to a different spot.
And then what do we do, Andrew? Do
I
we
want to
ask-
compliment, though, he has an excellent staff working here, Kathy and Julie. And the program today was magnificent for the veterans program. Really nice.
Anybody
It's
else?
always good to hear that. I think we knew it, but it's always good to hear it again. So Andrew, maybe listening to this, I don't know, maybe we talk to Amazon and we put the band show on wheels. Yeah. If we have to make it mobile, before we put it into a permanent spot, not knowing where it's really gonna go. There's some things, the point is that there are things we have to work out on that, obviously.
I just want to add to you that you guys work with the Rice Foundation. If everybody knows that we have that here in the town, I don't see anybody here except myself from that board, so I'm just gonna give 1 second on this. There are applications for the heating for the season, and we all know that the energy bills are going up. So please keep that in mind. If you have any senior that is in need of assistance, there's an application, I think Mary has some too, and she will help out, and they are also on a website. So it's hugely important that we have money, some, but we are willing to help. That's my spin on that one. Brett, who you representing?
I'm Brad Howard.
Representing Brad
My
Howard.
brother's son.
I'm the constable. Helped out on Old Home Day. I do whatever my Uncle Jim tells me to do.
No, I don't.
Try to. But, it's, when I retired, I determined that going forward, I needed to be more involved with the town. Working in New York every day wasn't really giving me that option.
Speak up a little bit.
Okay. And Jim's asking me to speak up a little. Just being on the side and offering to help out at Old Home Day. My job at Old Home Day was to pick up the trash. So I figured I'd make lemonade out of that, gussied up my tractor mower and had a ball. Thank you all for the help. Everybody helped. But just being part of observing processes, observing decision-making, trying to not overcommit, but help out as much as I can. Jim sets a good example. I love the senior center. There's no, for me, as somebody who's relatively new to a lot of stuff that's going on, a lot of subjects being discussed here tonight, it's just a pleasure. So I'm here more of an observer, just to learn how to participate more. Because what is a constable?
And Brad, thank you for everything you do. You are Batman. You are everywhere. It's not, you're at the senior center, I mean, you're at the housing authority, you're at Old Home Day, you're all over the place. You're doing a lot more yet.
I saw him over in Spencer.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your
Yeah. We all, whatever you eat for breakfast, pass it around. Let us know what your secret is. Your energy level is duly noted. Thank you.
Thank you, Brad. Any questions, any concerns? Anybody needs a costume?
Just thank you all.
Thank you. Where are we gonna go? Jamie? Yeah? Who's gonna go next? Wanna go?
School committee?
Nobody? School committee, how is it gonna work? All you guys together, or?
School committee. Oh, if you can guess my number one question.
Budget for next year.
I don't think we're ready for that quite yet. No.
So Steve, we're not gonna talk about budget today, but
No, but it's.
I will say that, Chair Carmen, yeah, you can speak.
Oh.
Your chair.
Oh, okay. I think, we don't want to talk about budget, but we should, right? And I think one of the most important things that we've heard, coming from Dudley, coming from Trump, is that we need to have a really good idea of where we're spending our money and how efficiently we're spending it. And so one of the things that is on our goals for this year is to really look and commission an operational audit. DESI can provide one, which is great, and that's, I believe it's hopefully free to us to have that done. And I think that will give us a really good idea, like, we know that our central office is the lowest funded central office in the state. But I think we need to back it up with some proof of how much do we need certain positions. And then we really can understand where we need to put our finances.
And how do you go about proving that?
They're gonna look at, all the different functions. I'm not completely versed in that just yet, but I'm sure that they'll come and do that.
But is it something you present as a need and then evaluate it and?
No, they will come in and do an audit of all the different functions. So it's something that, it's an outside company doing it, like it's an outside agency doing it.
But you can give them an idea, right, because you understand the school and everything, maybe you can say, we need this, and everything, like language.
I think because it's, from what I understand, and someone correct me if I'm wrong, because it's from DESI, they know exactly
They have the
what.
guidelines.
It's the snapshot that follows the regs on exactly what we need to do. And then throughout all the other cities and towns of Massachusetts, they'll benchmark us with other regional districts of same size and, temperament for
And
where
look
we
what they're
are,
doing.
and then extrapolate from that. So like, if you go on the DESI website right now and you look through regional schools, you'll see that if you remove the regional schools that are virtual, like TECA type of thing, and remove them, you'll notice that we're on the bottom for spending in central office and also for our overall spending of per pupil. And then, but you notice that, we'll then spend middle of the pack across the state for our teachers because we really support our staff. So there are certain areas that are kind of missing, and having that outside audit through the regulations of DESI will actually show it. So that way we can actually see where our strengths are and where our pitfalls are and where we might be able to kind of move things around so we're spending a little bit smarter.
I was very impressed with the email from Kelly, so thank you for that. I think this is a great idea to get some group like that, create a specific function. I'm not sure how guys you do it, but I was very impressed with that, because this is all in communication. The more we know and everybody knows, the better off we all are. So, and for you being involved in us, hopefully reciprocate, we'll all be good. So thank you for that, it was very good.
So, I'm good. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I'm not gonna hold you to an exact date, but do you have a rough idea when you would have a level services total operational budget available? Just so that we could start internally planning amongst ourselves.
We have to remember the cherry sheets are gonna come out, what, like February? And,
Right.
you know, then with the numbers, so, you know, and I know we're hesitant, you know, to putting out numbers that are still on the fly and having people think a certain set, but then it really comes in something else.
So, yeah, and
So-
I understand the state funding is gonna waiver, but I'm just saying, you know, that number for level services or level services plus should be consistent whether the money's coming from the state or from Charlton.
Well, if you think about it right now, right, we're already at $53 million budget. You think we're gonna go to 49, or are we gonna go to 54? So it's gonna be around $53 million.
Okay.
I just think it's fair to say after the first of the year, discussions will
Yeah.
be more focused on the budget so that the information go to,
I'm-
you know.
Like, I get what you're
Mr.
saying,
Mr.
but
Matthew
unfortunately,
and
the
as a school
assessment
committee, but-
Right.
is always
Our typical timeline is,
February, March.
it's February, we usually vote on it, about the beginning of March, at the March meeting.
March is
But-
usually the hearing.
Yeah, we have the hearings.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna be a little critical here. Because of what happened last year. You guys, the school committee started talking with Dudley much earlier. It wasn't February, because Dudley already decided they were going to have to do an override, if I understand correctly. Probably in December or January, we're already in November. So Dudley had an inclination, or how would they, from you guys, or how would they know they had to do an override? And that's my first question. My second question is, how do you know you're not gonna end up into an 8-month budget debacle with Dudley again?
I think Dudley understood that they could not meet our even 2.5% over the cost that we had the previous year with their current budget. I know that our superintendent and our finance director meets with both the town administrators regularly. I thought that they were meeting during that process, correct?
Well, I think it was more or less at the end of the previous fiscal year, they already came out and said that, looking forward, they knew that they weren't gonna be able to absorb any increase. And that's why that conversation started,
Right.
about it specifically the override.
And I think we did not anticipate, nor did I think any of you, the numbers coming back from the state that all of a sudden your ability to pay went from, when we thought it was about 1.9, all of a sudden it jumped up to like 2 point something, right?
Oh, yeah, because the out of district was 14% increase, which is unheard of. It's like typically 0 to 4%.
No, I was talking about the money.
No, but I
from the
know,
state.
yeah, that was part of it, yeah. Like, for how it grew so quickly out of,
Not the
out of-
budget,
out of what our original projections were.
Right.
But I also heard, but Mr. Lamar said last year, the school budget is a living and moving thing. He said, we just don't open it up in February and say, oh, here we are. We start working on it in September and go, you must have some inclination. Is the state, because I even read in the paper.
However, we were still also on a 1/12 budget. We're still not finished closing, we just recently closed the books, right? And we're still working on this year's budget, on finalizing that out.
Because of Dudley's
the
issues,
1/12 budget.
because of.
So we're behind on our own right now.
I would say though, like, we have all intentions of making sure, like, I think
Yeah.
we saw that, like, I know from the Dudley side, as a Dudley resident,
Meet and then socialize it with the voters for acceptance. That's my concern. I'm not challenging the number you're putting out. I'm just saying the more time that we have, that we can socialize what we need to do and have a course of action, I think this is the best.
And Pete, we totally understand you on that. I would love to have that projection tomorrow, let alone wait for cherry sheets in February. But again, it's one of those things where you have to go right to Governor Healy and be like, hey, you think you could get it out faster this time? I know last time was your first year in,
I mean, but if we don't start saying something, nobody's gonna change anything, so we have to start voicing it.
But that's what I'm saying, like, just, it would be en masse that we'd all have to write in and go, can we do it on time this year?
but it is, just so you know, it's not something that we're just waiting on right now. It is in the process as we speak. Like, our administrators are going through, looking at theirs, they're talking to their student councils. So the budget is being worked on, it just isn't at the phase yet that it's come to the school committee. And we have a budget and finance committee that's gonna be, I'm sure, working on this and going through it.
Should we be, no, are you all Melissa?
Yeah, no, no, I
Yeah,
mean,
no,
I
no,
mean-
it's good points.
Right.
I think we're on the same page on that.
As-
I mean, and you guys are, the school department, Dudley Charlton, is 49% roughly of our entire town budget. So when we start planning projects from everybody around this room, we haven't even got to the fire chief yet. He's sitting over there, and that's, we have to decide whether or not how we're gonna fund what you guys are doing. And we can't wait till March. Give us a plus or minus 10%. I was reading in the paper that Governor Healy is thinking on giving $60 million more this year to regional schools.
Yeah.
Plus the state.
I
don't know how many-
I see it, because I'm still waiting on 100% reimbursement on transportation for regional schools. That's never happened.
I don't know that that was regional schools, I think it's the.
But if it's the student opportunity, it's
Oh,
different.
But,
Yeah.
I mean, even if we get to the point where we can figure the cherry out later, if we have that number, what is it gonna cost to run the Charlton Dudley School District? I mean, that number should not have to wait till Governor Healy sets her numbers. We should know what the buses are gonna cost, what our salaries are gonna cost. We should be able to come up with that
We
number.
know the
Yeah.
certain fixed
Well, they
costs,
actually-
yeah.
yeah.
Right.
It's when we have all of a sudden out-of-district business that move in and things that move in, but I think that we've, all those unexpected costs that we had this year were based on, those kind of contracts with transportation and things like that, but those are now known variables, so.
But that should be an easy number.
Yeah, so we should, I mean, what we'll do is we'll go back
It's
to our.
easier, and it's also
Easier.
not Governor Healy's first
Right.
one, so it
Plus or
will come
minus,
out
but
on time.
is it 16 million or is it 19 million? Or is something in between? That's,
I understand what you're saying, absolutely. And as I sent, I sent an email to all the select board as a liaison between us and the town, which I look forward to, creating that relationship. Nicole as well is gonna assist with that too. And I told you some of the goals that we had, listed some of those. A lot of them is to get, stakeholder involvement and really communicate with the select board in the town to work together to make sure everybody's on the same page. Obviously, this is a step in the right direction for everybody, so we appreciate this time. I do hear what you're saying, I completely understand. Last year was the first year for me for budget, and I had a lot of questions on how and why and what, and clearly there was a lot of things that were unpredictable. So hopefully this year is a little more predictable for, as far as the school committee goes. So, if you're looking for a list of things that we know and a list of things that we don't know, we could, probably pull something along those lines together. We'll be a little bit more specific as far as numbers go. Obviously, we wait for that, but I do understand what you're saying, so we can do the best we can to satisfy what you're actually asking.
can we get a rough number mid-December?
I can't commit to that, but.
No?
Why don't we go back to Rich, Matthew, and Steve and talk to them and just share with them your thoughts and concerns and see where they are.
Okay.
And get back.
And I'm not being, well,
No.
it may sound sarcastic, but if I start hearing that Dudley's already planning on an override because of the school budget,
Dudley can't, there's no way that Dudley will vote for an override for the schools again.
but if they start talking about it again, that means you guys have been talking with them and not with us.
Oh, we will, yeah. That
So
I
that's,
understand.
we just gotta get
Yeah.
that, we gotta bring that back in.
That's how
There
we
was-
discussion.
Last year, there was a little bit of a mistrust issue, and some of us flipped out.
We working on
No,
it.
I know.
We heard
I'm just
exactly.
sorry.
We heard you, Steve, but
Yeah.
did you read the email?
It's only
What?
so
Did
many
you read
things
the
you
email?
can.
We working on it.
I know, no, I'm listening.
Promise.
I
But
know.
it's also, or you're also kind of having difficulty with the school, looking at one side where it's like, where they're like, okay, this town is the one that's having difficulty with this message, we're working with this town for it, this town is okay. It's the same thing in the school, like if you have a student who's doing well, you're not gonna go over and, work with that student on, on stuff that they've already mastered.
I'm
Right.
not
It's just
following
kind of
that.
like-
I'm-
I think that's
if-
one of the things, though, that the school committee and the administration, where they worked more with Dudley, because Dudley was asking for some of that help and direction.
But the only thing is, we did have the money, they didn't. And this year, we don't know what we're gonna have because we have a fire station and a different project going on, so
Oh, I
that's what
hear
we're
you.
aiming for.
No.
All we can do is ask the schools committee to ask Mr. Matthews to prepare something by December. That's our request.
That's it. We would like that. We would like that. The whole reasoning of saying, well, we knew Dudley needed more help, so we went to them first. It's because we were too quiet. We don't, none of us, we don't have to be quiet. That was a big number last year.
We all learned from it.
We hit a $1.8 million increase. That's
We
not-
all learned from it, and we're
Yeah.
gonna do better.
Absolutely.
And now, anybody has any other questions except the budget? Not allowed.
Oh, did we go over
Anything
3
else?
minutes? Probably by 30.
Yes.
Well, there's
There's all the great.
Thank you for canning us all out.
Moving on.
So Cemetery Commission is the next, Willis Bond is one of our elected members, and Jim Burlingame is our employee,
Superintendent.
superintendent. So he has been with the board with 23.
23 years.
And our chairman has been an elected official in Charlton in this position for 30 years, maybe more.
Yeah, a little over 30 years.
Yeah, and she's the youngest on our board. Anyway, what we've been.
They can see that.
Yeah. What we've been working on is a cemetery maintenance garage. Our equipment is stored. We have 9 cemeteries that Jim takes care of, and our equipment is stored all over town. And we have a building at Westridge, which really needs to be twice the size. But because there's a septic system on one side and
Ball fields on the
ball
other.
field on the other, and there's water, and there's electrical lines and everything, we can't add on. We went to Bay Path and worked with some really cool people there, and they helped us design a building, but unfortunately, they couldn't follow through and build it. They have other projects that somebody deemed were more important than ours. Anyway, what we want is a 50 by 30 metal building now, and we have, with the town hall's assistance, Architectural Insights of Palmer is working on the design, and the townspeople gave us $20,000 for that. We really hope that there's money come spring to build that, so that we don't have to have our equipment all over town and shuffle it, moving it. Another project that we're working on is in the grant, searching for a grant stage, Bay Path Stonewall and the Pound, which abuts it. The back and the wall toward Dresser Hill, those 2 walls are in terrible condition, and we got a quote last year for $150,000 to fix that wall. So we're looking for grants. We're trying to find some money so that we don't have to come to the townspeople for stone wall rebuild. We have had the stone wall rebuilt in certain areas at North Side. And this company has done beautiful work, and they've given us the quote of $150,000, which everybody knows, but by the time we get money, it's going to be much more than that. And then we have 2 other projects that we're talking about, and one is a columbarium, and that would be at Westridge. And what that is little condo units instead of taking somebody's ashes and putting them in the ground, you put them in a little compartment. It's called a columbarium. And then another project would be ground radar and we would do 3 cemeteries, probably Westridge and Northside, definitely, and possibly Union. And that way we would know, in the past, before Jen, records were not good. And sometimes you think somebody is buried here, and they might be, but they might also be buried over here. And if we had the ground radar, we would know, and then, but that's down the road. That's down, those are projects that we're looking at. Our big project is that maintenance garage. And it's very simple, like I said, 50 by 30, very simple building. Hopefully we can hitch up to this current septic that we have, and we'd like everybody's support at town meeting if it makes it that far.
Okay.
I have a question. Where would you put the metal building?
We actually have a piece, a small piece of property adjacent to the other building. It kind of connects to our parking lot area, and that's the area that we're looking at using. So it's within Westridge Cemetery, so it's going to be nearby the other building, keep the other building in place as well.
Oh, and you keep the other building?
Absolutely.
It's not going, I thought it was gonna go right over top.
No, because like Donna was saying, we're kind of limited as what we can do with that building. We can't really go much beyond that footprint because of the septic system, electrical line, and there's a water line in the back.
And that building was built for us by the students at BayPAC.
Yeah, back in
originally.
1988.
And that's, we thought, well, we'll have them do another one because they did such a great job, and it was a savings to the town. We just have to buy the material, but it's not gonna work out that way. We're gonna go a different route.
Can we find it, is there a warranty claim with BayPass? Something we can go.
Like a,
clear out.
Plenty of room.
yeah, I like a
For
comment.
cemetery? Oh, no, not at all. No, it's pretty wet back
I'd like to make a comment.
We have a comment over there.
You know, Memorial Weekend, I visit probably 7 cemeteries, you know, Millbury, Grafton, Worcester, Northborough. And Westridge Cemetery, our daughter is buried there, but Westridge Cemetery has got to be the best of them all. He does
Appreciate
an
that.
awesome
Thank you.
job,
Thank you.
awesome job.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And end on that.
Take care of,
Thank
and
you.
it all looks nice.
No, there's no question.
Oh, walk it.
Who's next?
Russ Jennings, Water and Sewer Commission. We handle water and sewer needs for the town. Currently working on numerous projects. One of them is closing out what's called the school loop. That's been the ExxonMobil project.
Russ, I doubt, can you stand, I doubt they're gonna be able to hear
Yeah,
you.
I can hear.
I can barely
I
hear
hear
it.
it.
Russ Jennings, Water and Sewer Commission. We're currently working on various projects, including ExxonMobil, closing that school loop, what's called the school loop. Connects a lot of sites in Charlton that were contaminated. It's been a long, ongoing project. Works with a lot of other boards in town. Serviced the police department this year. Town administrator naturally has a lot of input in this over the years. Affects the schools. So we're happy that that's coming to a close. We don't know when it'll be wrapped up. Naturally, it's got a lot of layers to it, but that's really basic of it. A lot of people don't know we're there until you have a problem or until you need water or sewer. So,
We appreciate the running water and flushing toilets.
you guys deserve it. That was a long ongoing problem down there at the police department, and we couldn't have,
Thank you.
you guys doing without ever being out of service, so.
Is that why they were always at Dad's? I'm trying to keep a little levity.
Are there still contaminated wells in town from that spillage?
So part of the condition of getting water from the town is that you would fill your well. So we're that's always what we're working on, is just filling those wells as we go. So if you hook up to town water, and you can't always mandate that a person does, it's naturally their choice, but the well is decommissioned when they do, so.
They still have some contaminated wells though?
Sure.
Yeah, I think that's just because some people opted out, they didn't want to.
Yeah, okay.
So, and that's, they had an opportunity to have everything hooked up free. That's already closed. So it's full.
That window has closed,
Yeah.
correct.
Wow.
So everybody who was able, wanted, was simply,
So they're not necessarily 100%, but they did the paperwork so that they could connect. There was a deadline. Naturally, we informed them numerous times, registered mail, various other ways, and made sure that they were aware there was a deadline coming, that if they hooked up within that deadline period, there was no cost to them to hook up. Naturally, they would get a water bill from that point forward, and that was some of the deterrent that some people said they didn't want to hook up.
So, but we know who they are, we know those locations.
Oh, yeah.
Those houses. So just out of curiosity, is that something that will be disclosed if they will be selling those houses for a buyer?
You know, that's really, that's
Yeah,
really a
that's a
tricky situation where, we have a master list of people in the area that could tie in. And we have a master mailing list of who we send certified letters to. And then naturally, the list of who connected.
Right, so if somebody comes to the town and asks, I'm looking to purchase this and this property, would that be viable for them?
Oh, most
Would we
definitely, but
disclose
they
that,
also,
or is that-
just because they're not hooked up currently, doesn't mean that they can't tie
Can't
in.
get right, but.
The only issue is they're not going to be a free ride.
Right.
You know, they would have to pay out of pocket for that
Right.
service.
All right, thank you.
And, I'm sorry.
No, I'm done.
No, we're 7:48, so we have 12 minutes to get through in this.
Give you 1 minute. I'm Noreen Smith, I'm your town moderator. Come to town meeting, it's only twice a year. Also in my role, I appoint the finance committee, so I'm representing them here this evening, I believe. If folks are interested in joining the finance committee, or anyone at home, I am keeping a running list of interested parties so that as openings come up, we have an opportunity to vet individuals that have expressed an interest. And look forward to hearing from anybody. If you have questions, comments, concerns about town meeting, happy to answer them. Thanks.
Anyone? You do a great job.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
Thank you,
she's the
Noreen.
best moderator ever.
The best moderator ever.
Everybody said that.
Very nice.
Everybody said that.
Planning board.
Gotta stand up because they can't hear you over there.
You can hear me, I'm John Smith. Tough act to follow my wife, so I'm vice chair of the planning board. We meet every other Wednesday night, 7 o'clock. We are currently, not that it's slow business coming in, but we actively take on plans. People want to develop land, come present plans to our town planner, which is Randy, and we adjudicate and look at the zoning and what it takes for them to make it legal to build these projects in this town. So Amazon was probably one of the is the biggest project that's up and going right now. Quite possibly, I think further down the road, there's going to be another development at 241 Sturbridge Road, which would be across from the red building. There used to be a school there. I don't know what's the official, I don't know what's in that red long building there by.
Income is still.
Income is.
Physical therapy. Physical therapy.
So the parcel across the street from it will be developed also, and that's ongoing.
What did you say was going in there? I'm sorry.
We don't know.
You don't know.
So it's in the works of getting it.
Gotcha.
Other than that, questions?
Next in line.
I've been a bit under the weather, so I thought I should wear a mask if I said anything. And I was a third grade teacher, so I know how to project my voice. I'm the head of Keep Charlton Beautiful. We used to be the Charlton Recycling Committee. Our group meets the second Tuesday of the month in the community room at the library. We always welcome new members. We are the part of the Mass DEP Recycling Dividends Program, and we worked hard to earn points that translate into money to spend on recycling products to sell at a discount to the public. We sell and raffle products like outdoor composters and rain collecting planters. We earned $1,225 this year in the program, and we hope to earn more next year. We've tried to have a greater social presence on the internet. We are on the Town of Charlton website and now have Facebook and Instagram page. We get out into the community at Earth Fest, the Blueberry Festival, and Old Home Day to show our products that help people recycle and reduce litter. We have attended Household Hazardous Waste Day in Southbridge for years now, and we were there in March and September this year. It has been a great service to the community with the vouchers that are provided by the Board of Health, who our group exists under. We hope to form a partnership with the schools, and anyone here from the schools, we encourage them to join the state DEP Green Team. We know a teacher at the middle school now that we're talking with in Charlton, Erin Anderson, and she and some other teachers are joining the Green Team with their students, and they have a project in mind that we're going to, in our meeting, which is next Tuesday, hopefully one of them can come and talk to us about how we can partner with them and help with the younger people getting involved in recycling and litter cleanup.
Any questions?
Small question, actually. You said you do the raffles for the composters and things. Do you sell them also as fundraisers?
Yes, we now also sell the compost. I think we have one being raffled, and we have one for sale outside of the selectman's office at the, selectman's office at the town hall.
Thank you. Sorry, working with Erin Anderson, by the way, she's awesome. Okay, but is also for the middle school, there's Project 351, because there's 351 towns. That's usually an 8th grade project where they work on doing betterment for the community. So they're always looking for ideas for Project 351.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else?
Brad. I really enjoy every year. I look forward to driving out my old truck and filling it up 3 times with trash.
Yes.
It's popular, it lets me get to know all the neighbors in my neighborhood. It's a wonderful thing. You guys do a great job.
Thank you.
Great job.
Actually, I have one quick question as well, as far as recycling. Like I had mentioned before with the Staples, with the electronics and the computers and stuff, they also do all the toner and ink cartridges. I know a lot of schools or departments or some, clubs collect those and get money for some programs. I don't know if you guys do that or not, but I've been taking everything from town to Staples because it's free and I have buckets every month.
But you think there's a company that would give you money back for those?
I don't know, I know schools used to have programs.
I haven't seen or heard of any in the past few
So if
years,
anybody
but-
wants them, they're free to take. They can have all you want for used toners. Otherwise, they go to Staples.
Try to dump this garbage.
There.
The composters work great. We have 2, they're excellent.
Oh, good.
Ed?
Hi, for those of you who don't know me, Chief Ed Knopf, Charlton Fire Department. I don't have a real tale of woe here. I just wanted to make an announcement that this Saturday we're holding our, it's become an annual event, the Veterans Breakfast down at the station.
That's awesome.
You're gonna have me cooking pancakes and, so.
I don't think, where is that? I don't think I've heard of it.
We have we invite the veterans down every year for Veterans Day to have a little breakfast.
to
get
say,
together.
to the
Yeah, at the
headquarters?
station, yep.
Okay.
The one thing I would say in listening to everybody's and especially the school budget, because I know that's the big hot topic, I would caution the board that the realization that's out there is they don't know what costs are coming in. And what we're finding in our field with apparatus and stuff is we now have manufacturers that are requiring a $25,000 or more contingency put into the contract because they know their costs are gonna go up based on the process. So it's tough for them to give you a hard number so early in the game. And that's my only comment.
Yeah, I understand that.
You have yours?
But it was also just, if,
And businesses do it every year, every day. I have to have a budget to operate on, so you have to figure it out.
I don't disagree, but you're looking, and I just look at our example. Our example is anywhere between 8 and 13% now.
So
And
you're giving us a number,
and
and
that could
that's something.
That could go once or twice in a year.
That, no offense, but you didn't have to go on a 112 budget by the state for 3-4 months, right? So, 'cause we didn't have a budget for a while.
no, till,
But she was new in the office, it's not gonna happen this year, so.
no, I know.
Anything else?
And I'm not, and that whole, I was just trying to make a point with it, and the school committee, they all already know how I feel about this. It was just for people at home. I think I wrote it.
We got, the
Serious, right?
That's why
No,
we're
I've
here
never had a
for.
conversation with you
That's
about
why
that.
you're here.
I don't like surprises, yeah,
That's good to know.
What's that?
Jim,
the deputy fire chief, he used to accompany the Legion a lot. He just retired. You got a new deputy.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, he was great, really great. Listen,
He thought very fondly of the veterans.
yeah. Yeah, he used to accompany us every Memorial Day at the cemeteries.
Yep.
And I think he formed a special
Yeah, we've got the honor guard
group,
back
the honor
in
guard,
place.
yeah. Excellent job.
thank you. Jeff?
Hi, I'm Jeff Sorrell. I'm the IT director for the town of Charlton. I'm not really a public-facing office, so a lot of what I do I can't really talk about for security reasons, but there are some, I guess, public security issues we can deal with. For example, the cameras you talked about. We just upgraded the library, the police has been done, water sewer just got done, town hall got done. We're working on, excuse me, the fields to mitigate some of that graffiti, hopefully get some security down there. Hopefully, the tricky thing with that is getting data.
Yeah.
So, no data, no camera. A lot of upcoming projects going on, always will be, and if the new substation comes in, we've got to take care of that. If your building gets built, if the senior center moves, there's always something to do. One of the main things I'm working on, it's basically a year project, is upgrading all the systems here to get Windows 11 compliant and get everything up to speed in town. Other than that, things are just busy and keep on moving. If anybody has any questions, let me know.
I just want to say that the website is awesome. Moving on in the right
That's Andrew.
direction.
No, it's actually, there's a few of us in town that maintain it, but
I know he's gifted, I didn't know that much. Thank you.
Kathy, Board of Assessors, representing them. They're, moving on with values and as the planning board mentioned, 241 Sturbridge. It did sell, the land did sell, so we're hoping that it's approved 1.3 million square foot facility. They don't have a tenant yet, but hopefully that will continue to move forward and get built. And moving forward with the tax classification hearing will be next week on Tuesday. If anyone's interested, then you can attend that as part of the select board meeting.
Awesome. Any questions?
last year, it's exactly 8 o'clock. How did you do it?
Perfect. No, I didn't do it yet. I have one more thing. I have two more things.
No.
That the Chartered Educational Foundation. They're not also not here, but you know they deserve a note. And thank you for working with us. This is important. This is we completely separated from the board of this board, but we do a lot. Last year we had close to 36,000 that was donated to the teachers. Why I'm mentioning this is because we're still not getting enough applications for the grants. So we, I kept saying this all the time, we're getting a lot of interest in Shepherd Hill, not enough in Charlton, and that the both elementary level schools and middle school could do a little bit better. We're getting Mason Road a lot, and we were able to fund pretty much anything so far. So it's important and it's there. And thank you, Kylie. I know was there. I know you were there for the gala. That's one of our biggest fundraisers. So thank you for that. Yeah, we made some money together. That's collaboration, right?
Absolutely.
So thank you for that. And me, selfishly, first. Thank you everybody so much for coming. You have no idea. You make this town and this job of ours so much easier. You are awesome. Your selflessness is tremendous, and thank you so much for that. As of my personal wants, want number one, please come to the town meeting. Please. We are short of going and knocking on people's doors. We have done, I think, everything we have possibly could. Maybe we'll do some food trucks. If they'll bring people, anything, just, please, it starts with your homes and your family. You have to advocate for this. You don't want 100 people to make the decisions that reflect on your families and your future of this town. So that's that. And number two, my personal want also, and I've been saying this for a while now, and I know it's not a mandatory thing, but when we getting the new people to join the boards and committees and the like, it is, I ask kindly, it would be very nice if whoever the board of committee is sponsoring that new person, if they would come up in front of us, and not, because it's not in front of us, it's in front of the people, so we know who we're working with. It's so much better to put the face to everything that is happening, and this is a great example of this with the respect and collaboration. I don't think this town, there's nothing that we cannot do together. That's it. Turkey raffle. What is this?
Can I just ask one
Pico.
question of somebody here? Because Mr. Brenner started, and I didn't realize we were all asking questions when he finished.
Yeah.
I just have a question about your fields. Because last year you had mentioned there was small discussion, and I know this year my son is a senior up there who was playing on those fields, that there's still ongoing discussion. So I'm wondering if there's any progress being made in that area.
There's several discussions about the field. So there was a master field update done in 2015. So when they started questioning the fields, I found that. Those prices, there were two options. The lowest option was $8 million. So that was 2015. So we can't move forward until we know what the true cost of the options for those fields are.
Is that for
They're- It's for
drainage or to have them redone
have them
completely?
redone.
Or
We're 4 times over the recommended daily usage of our fields, just for the number of sports that we offer and what we have. It's natural turf, and there's no time to regenerate, and there's no irrigation there right now. So looking at, we contracted out to Gale Associates, who did it in 2015, and we should have that report back, an updated report of what it will take to maintain those fields. Obviously, it's a smaller footprint if you put a synthetic turf in, because that can take more daily usage, but with that, you have an 10 to 12-year life on that, and you're looking at, replacing that carpet for that field every 10 to 12 years on that. So we're looking at our current fields. We have made significant improvements. I hope you've noticed that.
Sure, yes, yeah.
Our fall sports are.
They take a beating, but yes.
Are doing amazing. We hope to repeat our vocational state championship in the football championship. But we're looking at it. We're working with it with our building property maintenance and our facilities crew to keep them where they are. We limited use on the football field and all our fields this summer, so that we could give it time to regenerate. There's some efforts that go in, and we'll have the true costs hopefully this month. Gail will be finished with that, and we'll look at it. Basically, we need more fields.
Right. Just wondering what the status was. Thank you, appreciate it.
November 10, turkey raffle, booster club for Shepherd Hill and Beagle Club in Charlton.
Turkey
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Oh,